We may be aware of them. They started out as with a very ambitious project of doing smart contact lenses with a display built inside, a micro LED display. They later pivoted to actually offer and develop the display itself. They reached some very high performance micro displays using their technology. And let's hear from Grace from Mojo Vision.
Okay, thank you for the introduction. Hello, everyone. It's Grace Lee from Mojo Vision. I'm leading the product in Mojo. I'm going to introduce Mojo's development on the micro LED micro display using quantum dot color conversion for 3 colors. Um, as per Ron's introduction, I want to give you an introduction for previous Mojo Vision. You probably heard of us. We are the Silicon Valley company started in 2015. We've been building the next generation of computing with a breakthrough product called Mojo Lens. It is an AR contact lens. Mojo Vision, this is Mojo Lens is the world's first AR contact lens that can give you information whenever and wherever you need it. We call this invisible computing. You can notice there's a small dot at the center of the Mojo Lens. That is a display. So the Mojo Lens has unique architecture that requires all the components on the contact lens, including battery, sensors, SoC, and displays to be very small form factor and extremely power efficient. To satisfy the challenge spec on the high PPI, high brightness, low power, and small form factor, Mojo decided to start our development path on the micro LED displays that locates at the center of the contact lens. With 7 years of high PPI micro LED technology development, early this year, Mojo decided to pivot the company to focus on the micro LED technology, especially for the display product application. Dr. Nikhil Baran becomes the new CEO of Mojo Vision, and we have raised $43.5 million in the new Series A fundraising. The leadership group has extensive experience in LED and display industry. So our commitment is to deliver high-quality, manufacturable micro-LED displays. We believe micro-LED can be applied to all kinds of the display applications, including the dense and sparse displays. For the sparse display, you can see that, um, the existing display technology like LCD and OLED already serve this market, but micro-LED can improve the efficiency and support the high brightness advantage. On the other hand, the dense display, the micro display can enable the new product market. For example, the AR glasses requires a high bar on the brightness, power, and form factor. We think micro LED is a great technology to serve this spec. So our first product that Mojo is developing, we will target the product market in the AR smart and in the AR, which is AR glasses, smart glasses, AR viewer, and or highly immersive AR. So what does Mojo do to realize the micro LED displays? We are building the full spectrum of technology platforms that are needed for high quality displays. This include the core technology that operates 4 colors with tiny pixel, and the display system that controls dynamic pixels and output the efficient light source to the display optic systems, and the manufacturing that represent a strong ecosystem supply chain for cost-effective products. So I'll introduce our efforts on these 3 pillars one by one. First of all, Mojo already successfully demonstrated the native blue and green micro LEDs. The video shows, I'm showing the video. The video shows the 14,000 PPI dynamic displays. The pixel pitch is 1.87 micron and LED size is only 1.37 micron. We even developed the world's smallest micro LED as 6 micron size, so that they enable a 28,000 PPI display. The chart shows that our tiny micro LED keeps high efficiency at the current density range the AR would operate. The tiny micro LED is very beneficial for AR because it can support the small form factor of AR displays. And second, the tiny micro LED can work together with micro optics to enhance the power efficiency in the display system. I'll talk about it later. So it's challenging to realize three colors on one display using micro LEDs because the epitaxy materials between blue, green, and red are different. So if you want to use ingot and or if you want to use ingot materials for RGB, you will get a very low efficiency on red. So Mojo's approach is to use quantum dot color conversion technology on blue micro LEDs to realize three colors. So this on this cross section, you can see that we have the CMOS driving at the bottom, and we have the blue micro LED on each subpixel, and it converts the and pixelated the red and green quantum dots on top of the blue LEDs. The blue LED is the most established and efficient color compared to other color of micro LEDs. So it makes a good foundation to use quantum dot on top of blue LED to realize three colors. At the bottom, you can see our high-level overall process. We have both micro LED wafers and CMOS wafer, both on silicon, and we then bond two wafers with high accuracy, and we pixelate the quantum dot on top of the LEDs. Mojo's high performance quantum dots are the big differentiator compared to the other three color technology. I'll spend some time explaining it. So at least the factors that high performance quantum dots should achieve for AR displays. I would have several highlights here. The first one is that quantum dot in the market cannot satisfy the performance requirement for AR. So instead of buying the quantum dot from the market and incrementally improve it, Mojo choose to spend significant resource to make our own quantum dots with a special coating that can stabilize the quantum dots. The second highlight is that um, for AR, the high PPI design is needed. So the pixel is only a few micron. The LED is even like 1 micron level. So we cannot implement the thick quantum dot layers as people usually do for TV. For example, this is 10 micron and this 10 by 1 aspect ratio. So with around 1 micron LED, we would apply about 2 to 3 micron quantum dot layers on top of it with low blue leak. So the thin quantum dot layer is a must because it will reduce the light attraction loss in a pixel. The third highlight here is that the AR display has a very high bar on the brightness that requires the high optical flux to pass through the quantum dot layers. Quantum dot reliability is challenging as brightness spec is much higher than on AR is higher on AR display than on TV. What we can discuss about it later. The first highlight is that the color pixelation is challenging for very high PPI because you can see that the pixel is only a few micron, and we are not used. So the traditional pixelation does not work. So here I would like to give you some of our data to show the color stability on the for the displays. So it's easy for us to tune the quantum dot wavelengths to 620 nanometer and above to generate a very saturated red for high color gamma. You can see that we have data for 638 nanometer wavelengths. Our 4-width half max is about 33 nanometer, and we are working on to make the distribution narrower. So it is important to generate a stable light source. We have experimented driving a quantum dot with high optical flux from less than 1 watt per centimeter square to 15 watt per centimeter square. This is super high optical power that we would drive on the AR, and this covers much higher optical power needed for AI operation already. So the highlight is that both the wavelengths and full width hub max are very stable from low to high optical power density. It means when we drive from low to high brightness, we change the current density. When we change the current density, we can generate a very stable color. Unlike other three color method, for example, if you use the ingot-based red LED, it has a drastic wavelength change. Basically, um, a very obvious blue shift when you drive higher current density. Like our data, which we show from low current density to high current density with a stable wavelength, but ingot materials will show the wavelength decreasing to like orange. And another concern using quantum dot color conversion approach is that the quantum dot reliability. As the brightness spec is much higher than TV, the optical flux passing through the quantum dot is also much higher. As I mentioned previously, it needs at least several watt per centimeter square optical flux to drive the quantum dots in order to get 1 million nits of brightness. So Mojo has developed our proprietary quantum dot and pixelation process all together to optimize the materials and process. Here I'm presenting an early data that shows our red quantum dot capability compared to other quantum dots. We drive our red quantum dots at 4 watt per centimeter square. You can see that with 500 hours driving, our quantum dot profile intensity is still stable, while the other quantum dots already decay 40% within 80 hours under the same condition. The image on the right shows our highly customized facility to operate the lifetime test. This can enable high optical flux from 1 watt to tens watt per centimeter square, and it can control the sample temperature in a wide range between 10 degrees and 90 degrees. So we do have a lot more reliability validation ahead. We will report more data with time. Now we are working on the quantum dot pixelation process that can support a few micron pixel design for AR displays. This image shows the green and red patterns in 1.37 micron size and 1.87 micron pitch. That means for each dot, it's only 1.37 micron. Our target is to demonstrate RGB integration proof of concept early 2024. So at the lower part of the slide, we are presenting the video. Let me show the video. Um, Showing pixelated red quantum dots convert the blue Mojo logo image to red color. You can see the video. We have the dynamic blue Mojo displays and also the red Mojo displays. You are welcome to see the demo in our Saratoga office or reserve a time meeting us in CS. Okay, previously I highlighted the tiny micro LED the Mojo developed in the last 7-8 years is very powerful for AR. Here I would like to show you why. The AR display has a very different optical spec compared to the direct view displays. When you pair the displays with the waveguide optics in the AR system, only a small portion of light in a small cone from the display will go into the waveguide. Other light will be like wasted. For example, you can see this image showing only 30, for example, only 30-degree cone of light will go into the waveguide. With the tiny micro LED, the micro optics on top of the micro LED will collect much more light from the LED to waveguide optics. Depending on the size ratio between micro lens and micro LED, the boosting factor can go up to 5 times. What does it mean? It means the power can be reduced to 5 times. The Mojo is developing the micro LED together with the micro optics They maximize the optical efficiency in the whole light engine. So finally, let's talk about the end-to-end scalability. Mojo's micro LED display development is using all kinds of emerging technologies, and basically a lot of them can leverage the process in the semiconductor industry. In the chart, you can see this end to end process flow, and this image shows our record of using the 300 millimeter wafers to light up the first LED in this 300 millimeter wafer size. And this picture shows how we successfully bound the 300 millimeter wafer gun on silicon to the CMOS silicon on silicon with very high accuracy on the bonding. And then we go to the quantum dot process, which is in-house and micro lens array to integrate the whole module package. We believe with maturing this process flow, we can deliver not only the micro display, micro LED micro displays, and also can expand our capability to the large format displays. Okay, in terms of the roadmap, Mojo is working to deliver both three monochrome RGB displays and single panel monolithic RGB display. The first sample is expected in 2025. So thank you for listening to my talk. Please contact me if you would like to know more about Mojo, be our partner or be our customer, or want to see our demo in Barrier. Thank you.
Thank you, Grace. This was very interesting. So we have time for some questions. First of all, do you use cadmium in your quantum dots?
Excuse me?
If the quantum dots that you developed, are they cadmium based or cadmium
Oh
free?
yeah, yes, it is Cameo based right now, because it has much higher efficiency. But we do have plan to work on Cameo free quantum dots. And we believe the process will be very similar because our strength is to stabilize the quantum dot with very special process, and this can be applied to Cameo based or Cameo free quantum dots.
Okay, thank you. Okay. Another question about the micro lenses. Anything you can say about the fabrication of them? You do this in house or?
Um, we are working with partner on the micro lens. It is not but we do have our special design. It is not the design you usually see on other displays. So one, the design is different. Second, the process is somewhat different because in order to support the special shape, the process will be somewhat different from, for example, the reflow. We're not actually using the reflow process.
I see. Okay, thank you, Grace. This was really interesting. I hope we'll hear more and get to see your demonstration soon of this new product.